Yes, people, and welcome back to another video on the Bridge YouTube channel where we bring you all things Chelsea. You know who I am. I'm your host with the most, the Bridge 258, here today to to give you the big news, the big bucks as I like to call it. Listen, whenever I'm live, you'll always get the most best and up-to-date news, man. You always get the breaking news with me. You know who I am, the Bridge 258. Please make sure again to like, share, subscribe. You know the usual stuff that I usually ask for. We know it, you know it. Let's get into it. And listen, let's start with this one first and foremost. Big up to my guy. Big up to my guy, Nimeth, Kishtig, Gujiletu, and Somali Flame Nasi. Let's hope so on that one. But of course, the big breaking news, which is coming up as we speak, of course. Which one is this? I think this one should be. There we go. Wrong one, actually. Oh, wrong one. Share this one instead. There we go. Lovely jubbly. And that is the big breaking news, of course. And that is, as I increase it for you by tenfold, of course, the hidden Premier League club interested in signing Alvarez Fernandez and Alvarez is Chelsea for him. Now, as you guys know, yesterday it was mentioned by the same journalist, Gaston Del Dul, who said that there was a secret Premier League club who is set to bid for him in the next few days. And this obviously is very good news for us. At the end of the day, obviously Alvarez, great player, key player, as I was talking about before. Yes, this season is not a bit of a down season, but we know what he can do. Play in multiple positions, very good striker, very good finisher. Was one of the starting strikers for Argentina. He was able to pick up the slack as well for them when Haaland wasn't there. And listen, again, the price wise, I think you're probably looking at again 70-80 million to get him, which again is not a bad price. But again, this is what I'm talking about with Chelsea. You know, if you are going to spend the big money, spend it on guys who are elite talents, proven, and you guys can, get the best out of. And with a guy like him, I 100% truly believe he is that guy for me personally. You know, you look at the guys around us, the guys that we may be potentially attempting to be trying to bring in. I would mention first and foremost, none other than my guy, Osimhen. You look at him, I would yes, Osimhen maybe have more tenure, more goals scored per season, but I think again the Prem proven aspect, and I think for the price of getting him at and what you've seen from him, I honestly think quality player for him for sure. Then you look at Gyökeres, of course. Yes, he's had a good season at Coventry and then at Sporting Lisbon. But with the knee surgery he's had recently, that brings in some certain questions which you may not like at all as well. You then obviously look at the next option on the list, which is Sesko. Would you rather bring in Sesko or this guy? For me, most definitely Alvarez, more experience. I would say a much better player. He's a lot more closer to being a bit more of a complete player, in my personal opinion. And he suits the system better than a Sesko. And then the final one, which I've been hearing, which obviously some people have been hearing about, Muniz and some other ones. This guy clears them. This guy clears them for sure. And I agree with this comment. Alvarez, you ask, big up to my guy, Killer Red. Big up to my guy, Gabriel, 80 million euros. Yeah. Depends on the price. Oliver sent you the link ages ago. If you want to come on, let me know. If you can't, all good. I agree. My head was hurting, bro. Literally, my head was hurting. Big up to my guy, XLV. Nice to see you. You know what I mean? We come in peace. I see over there at the Arsenal terrorists, they're talking about the Prem are going to bottle it, one drop all charges on City. Is that true, Cat? You know what these guys are like, man. They always can, I don't know. At the end of the day, it's more they can't bottle it at this point. So it is what it is. Big up to my guy Ayakama. I don't want Alvarez. We need different type of not an Jackson type striker, man. The difference is, bro, I would disagree with you in the sense that I feel like Alvarez, yes, he suits system, but he's a gunman. The problem with Alvarez was that when he plays at Man City, he's not necessarily playing as a striker. He's almost playing at times as a second striker. Like he's almost there to feed, what's it called, my guy Alvarez. That's the problem. So for me, he's not really trying to get into goal scoring positions. More so, he's helping and he's helping the team to connect. To Haaland essentially. He's like the connector essentially when you look at him at Man City, to be honest. So that's why for me, it's a bit unfair. If you look at him in terms of his shooting and his scoring, I would argue yes, bro. So I would rather keep him in. That's just for me personally. Big up to my guy Oliver. Nice to see you here, bro. As always. Yeah, he can finish. Some myself, it's like Jimmy said, it's no coincidence we are siding with City. I thought the same way as soon as I saw the Alvarez news that night. You know what it is though, Summer Surfer? I also said to you guys yesterday, if you guys would like to remember this, I personally believe, yeah, if we could not get whoever was bidding, because yesterday it was mentioned that there was a Premier League club that was bidding for him, right? And so for me, I was like, it's the only two clubs that Man City are known to make deals with is Chelsea and Arsenal, right? In terms of big clubs in the EPL. Now, for me personally, we know that Arsenal and Chelsea are fighting for Sesko, and as such, if you're a Chelsea football club and you believe you cannot bring in Benjamin Sesko into the football club, right? You then go in for option B, which should have really, in my personal opinion, been option A in my guy Alvarez. And I think probably for me, the thing that is boosting this, if you think about it, you got Aston Villa lurking for Gallagher. You got another team in what's it called? Tottenham lurking. Even Atletico Madrid are allegedly now lurking for him. And you can see in each team the where he would fit. McGinn swap. You know, what's it called? Rodrigo De Paul swap in for them there. Not so much of Tottenham, but you look at it there, and you make an extra 50 million from him. That's what I'm saying. Listen, at the end of the day, bro, watch this space. If you think about Jackson as a second striker, because he's very creative, I want a target man, a bad man. The thing for me, Ayakama, I think at this stage at Chelsea Football Club, I think having that both an Alvarez and Jackson is fine. You want two strikers that are going to compete for the first spot, that are going to be very good at what they do, and they can still they only have a little bit left in their game to be able to make sure that they can bang. You know what I mean? Hit the rails and be able to, continue onto that trajectory of greatness, in my personal opinion. And as such, for me, I don't mind it necessarily. I know for some, they want a straight gunman, a guy that, you give it to him straight away, he's going to score. But for me personally, I just think having two guys, young guys, that are going to be competing with each other, particularly when you're going for top four, and then the season after, hopefully, is competing for the league season. I just think for me, that is perfect. I don't know about you, Oliver. Big up.
Okay, I like Alvarez. I think he's a good player. City to get him, what, they got 15 million from River Plate, didn't they?
Yes, they did. Yes, they did.
That's insane business. Like, for what they got, it's brilliant. I'm personally not paying above 50 million. No. I don't like this. I don't like this in the region of 70 million. I don't like that at all. Not for listen, he's a good player, but at the end of the day, he is the Manchester City bench striker, and that has to come into it somewhere.
Do you think
that's just my opinion?
Yeah, just quickly onto your question of, do you think we have to choose between Olise and Alvarez? I don't think we have to choose between the two of them. In my personal opinion, you can probably get both. It's not going to be that deep at the end of the day. Have there been anything concrete of City on City or Alvarez yet? Yeah, this is the most concrete option. This guy's the number one guy when it comes to Argentinian footballers at the end of the day. So, it's not going to get any more concrete than this. Now, I want to go back to Oliver's point about the 50 million. I just think the reality is, Oliver, I think for me, Alvarez is such a good player in the sense that not only can he be the main guy for us up front, but he can also fill in other positions that we may need to have at the end of the day. And I think for me, something that I've been thinking about a lot more now. Yeah, with Olise that we're trying to bring in. You're trying to bring in Alvarez right now, which is the alleged rumor. We have an Nkuku, we have a Jackson, we have a Palmer. Like even to the extent of Madueke, I feel like we want our attacking three to be a lot more fluid. You know what I mean? Not just setting their position, but being able to move around and playmate together. Does that make sense, Oliver? So
yeah, makes sense.
For me personally, bringing a guy like Alvarez probably works even better for you, more so than Sesko, if I'm being honest. Because Jackson can do that job for you, and Nkuku can do that job for you, Alvarez can do that job for you, Palmer can, and to an extent, I think Olise can too, and Madueke in the way that they play. So for me, I don't necessarily think, again, this is a bad thing at the end of the day. And the thing is, for me, Oliver, and I'll be honest with you, Alvarez, as Summer Surfer says, realistically, he would be a starting at any other club in the league right now, even in other leagues as well, by the way. But just that he's facing the number one striker in the world. That's all it is.
I hear both sides to it. I don't want to be like, blowing the bank on the guy. But that's my only real concern. I think he's a good player, and I hear your point about fluidity. I think that's important. I mean, I think you've also got to factor, like, I mean, I remember Joey though. Joey was saying he made a point about the fact that Maresca's strikers only average around like 20 touches a game, so it's not even like he necessarily needs it's not like he needs a 50 touch a game kind of striker.
Some breaking news. Listen, we at the Bridge 258, we deliver the breaking news. We are the real source. You know what I mean? And this is from Fabrizio Romano, and he says Chelsea, United, and Arsenal are all waiting on Benjamin Sesko's decision in the next few days, right? And as such, again, and that's another thing. Think about this. If they believe, by the way, they can't get Sesko, essentially, which may be the number one option, they're willing to splurge the cash out to get Alvarez, it seems. So again, interesting dynamic. You know, again, we will probably he said in the next few days. So that means either Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. I would argue in the next 3 days we will know where Sesko is going. By the way, we will know in the next 3 days, in my personal opinion. So again, that's something to clearly look at. The fact that he's also saying, right, and what's it called? It's gonna be happening quite soon is a marker for you guys to consider. So we move on that one. Wow, Summer Surfer, Oliver, you gonna adjust his allegations? You know what I mean? He's saying you're better than Chris.
Damn. Wait, what?
Well, he's Summer Surfer says that you're better than Chris. So
I think he's got to address those allegations, not me.
Yeah, that's actually true. I thought it was up there around, you know. My bad. I didn't check the what's it called, the parenthesis. It was greater than a left hand. Yeah, he starts in every team at the City. Exactly. Yes, you can. And Gaston Dul is like the most reliable guy when it comes to Argentinian footballers. Of course, again, he was the one that actually reported, if I'm not mistaken, as you guys may or may not know, about Enzo. So the whole Enzo transfer was from him. And he was the one that had all of the sources and everything. So he clearly is very well educated and well linked with a lot of the clubs in Argentina. So again, another thing to think about. He spent a lot of this year in some. Yeah, exactly. He was literally playing in the midfield at times. Well, that kind of is, bro. You know, it's just saying that, you know, the news is about to come quite soon, my friend. That's all it is. You should always be live. Hopefully, sir. Big up to my guy Rafa Leao. Hopefully, Sesko chooses us. Listen, man. He may or may not choose us, but if he doesn't choose us and we have to go for Alvarez, bro, that might be a blessing in disguise. It might be a blessing in disguise at the end of the day, bro. And that, for me, probably is the much better option at the end of the day, if you're being honest. You know what I'm saying to you? Like, this is probably a lot more of a better option for us, and that allows us to do a lot more than I think a lot of people are realizing. So, for me personally, again, I don't think this is I actually think this is a great thing for us at the end of the day. You know, I know some people may disagree with me in that aspect, but I think this is perfect. Well, you wanted to go to Arsenal. Aya says, I'd rather Sesko, to be honest. I agree. Alvarez is clear of Sesko 100%, bro. That's what I'm saying to you, bro. If you're able to get another option, that's what I'm saying. Sesko is going Chelsea. United have Højlund. Arsenal need a better striker than them. That may be the case, but they believe their better striker is Sesko. So, again, watch this space at the end of the day. That's all I will say. Watch this space. But listen, I want to actually speak about, some other breaking news that's happened today from Jacob Steinberg. But shouldn't we go get Alvarez now? If he rips up Copper, then they could add 10 million of hype. That's what I'm saying to you. I think, once we know who Sesko chooses, which will probably again be within the, I would say, Friday, Saturday, Sunday range, they will just put the money out on there straight away. The fact they probably already spoke to his agent and they're clearly interested means they probably already know how much it's going to take to make the deal happen. And you got Enzo there that can convince him to come there too. So I don't think it's going to be that hard of a job, for example, to get an Alvarez deal done, honestly. Be happy for you, to be fair, but 80 million is big money again. But again, it shows that we are serious, bro. Going for a guy like Alvarez, bro, shows, in my personal opinion, that we are serious, in my personal opinion. So we move. And if you don't start Sesko, we go for Alvarez. Exactly. That's what I said before, and that's what I will still maintain again. So, again, we move on that one. But, guys, I want to talk about this, by the way, and here we go. Here we go. This is some other breaking news I want to talk about, and that is, of course, on my guy Conor Gallagher. So this is the first part of it. Conor Gallagher will not be pressured to leave Chelsea. Sources around a potential deal with Villa, so he is prepared to bide his time, raising the prospect of him leaving on a free transfer next summer. Then the next part of it, obviously, is this. There is a sense within Chelsea that Gallagher may not suit the position of football favoured by Enzo Maresca. Now, let's be real, guys, yeah? Yeah, who cares about big money other than the other option is a Herbert from Villas. Fair enough. Hoyland is trash. United need a proper striker. You've seen their goal difference. Yeah. -1. Hold that. But listen, I want to talk about Gallagher for a sec. Again, this is something again that we are kind of I've been worried about. And if you're the football club and you're trying to move him on and you're trying to obviously try to make some form of money off of Gallagher, this is the issue you're going to have at the end of the day, which is that fundamentally, whether people want to admit it or not, right, the power is in his hands. He's got 1 year left on his deal. If he truly loves the club and he believes in the club, he can do something where he essentially sits on the bench the whole season, barely plays any minutes, right, and just like leaves on free. That's one option. Option 2 could be that because the club basically want to keep his value and want to attain some form of money off of him, what they will do is they will have to give him a contract, like an extra 1 year deal or an extra 2 year deal in order for him to maintain his value. That's option 2. So you're kind of in like the club is kind of in like I'm trying to think of what is in between a needle and a haystack right now in regards to Conor Gallagher right now. So again,
rock in a hard place.
Yeah, rock and a hard place is another one as well, right? And I think the other issue that you also have here is that this point is correct because I explained to you guys just yesterday on the live stream that again, when it comes to Gallagher, right, there's two things that we need to understand, right? He's positionally unaware, and he has a big lack of spatial awareness, which means when I say spatial awareness and positional aware, there are two different things. So spatially aware means he understands who's behind him, who's coming to press him, if there's any other guys behind him, if there's guys around him, right? That's being spatially aware. So you understand the space you and the guys that are around you and the guys that are going to be able to do the stuff that they're going to do against you, right? So that's one thing entirely. The next aspect that you have to look at is what I would like to call not spatial awareness per se, but positional awareness. That means he understands where he has to be every time the ball is passed. If I'm going to this position, that means I have to be here or I have to remain here. If this is happening, then I have to be here. If this is happening, something else, I'm going to be here. He clearly doesn't have that either. So if you don't have those two things and you're trying to play a possession type of play, then you're kind of in, you're kind of cooked because I can't use you in any way, shape, or form in that system at all. Yes, you may be a good runner, but let's say you get out of position, yeah, because you're running around. Then the whole system collapses because the guy that was meant to be where he's meant to be, someone else has to drop in for him, and then everything just goes, incredibly wrong, and then you just break up the system. So that's the problem that you have with Gallagher at the end of the day. So, it's not easy. It's not easy, bro. It's not easy at all. So listen, we move. But guys, again, give me your thoughts. Do you think Gallagher will be able to run down his contract? Do you think he'll be like, listen, I love the football club, but I want to run down my contract. I don't believe in it at all. I'm just not moved by it. Do you think that's something that he would do? I'll ask you, Oliver, as well. You can start, my friend.
I mean, this is the strange one because we've never actually seen the club allow a player into the last year of their contract. It's always been they'll sell him the summer before. We saw that with like Mount and Loftus-Cheek and I think a few other players. The only one they actually let into their last year of contract was technically Thiago Silva, but like what value are we going to get for selling him anyway? But that's not to say he was a bad player, but that's just market value of a 39-year-old. Like, let's be real here. But in terms of Gallagher, like there is a reality where he could stay at Chelsea. I wouldn't be surprised if he did, but what I'd want the club to do in that situation, you have to make serious threats to him or an ultimatum to him that you're going to be in the reserves if you don't, if you don't leave or if you don't sign a contract, whatever the case may be. Like even if it's a 1 year thing, even if it's just a 1 year contract to preserve value, you have to lay it down and be like, okay, here's the contract, sign it, or you're in the reserves, and then you bring the power back to yourself because then him as an England international, he will not risk his England spot, so he'll move for minutes.
Exactly.
So there is a way to bring the power back to us. It's just a matter of whether we exercise that ability or not.
100%, 100%. What political take? What if recent events with the Prem versus 115 City charges leads to certain clubs not being under pressure to sell? Hence, no pressure on the dog being sold. Oh, okay. Well, again, that might be possible, but I don't think that's the current reality of the situation of that we're currently in. So I wouldn't necessarily say that is the case. So again, we move. Big up to my guy Summer Surfer. He can't risk the England squad, and who knows if clubs of Villa and Co even want him in 12 months' time. They could still plug his spot with an alternative this summer. Then he goes to Wolves and them, man. That's very, very true, Summer Surfer. That can also be the case, and that's why for me, he's currently in a very, very precarious position. You know what I mean? Like, is he willing to take that risk for another year? Like, for me personally, that's not something I would personally do. I would probably say that. I would probably say that's something that I wouldn't want to do as a football player personally. I would want, to be able to at least have some power in the division I'm making. If the club doesn't want me, I'm probably planning to move on and trying to find the best club possible to take me in and listen to offers. But that's just my personal opinion. I sometimes understand that there's gonna be a level of sentimental, particularly when you've been at this club since you were a kid, and maybe it's also the fact of that you love the football club too. But sometimes, bro, if they don't want you, bro, they don't want you, bro. That's just the way it is, bro, at the end of the day. You know what I mean? It's hurting, it's hurtful, but that's just the reality of the situation that you are in currently. Anything else you want to add, Oliver?
Not particularly, no.
Fair enough. Why he take Wharton instead of Maatsen? I'll be honest, Maatsen didn't have a really great
Form.
second half of the season, and Wharton had a good second half of the season. Simple as that, really.
Wharton is more of a. England need a player like Wharton more than they need a player like Maatsen. Like,
exactly.
To play the number 10, we already have like Foden that can do it. We have Palmer that can do it. We have Bellingham that can do it. Maatsen isn't a necessity, whereas with Wharton, we have very rarely does England have a profile like that. So it's more, it's more necessary in that aspect.
100%, bro. 100%. So I'm just looking currently at some of the other news I want to bring up before we continue on. And listen, this is some sad news, man. I'm losing this war very badly right now. You know what I mean? The last 5 games of the season, now this news about him not even going to Fenerbahce, it's getting crazy, man. This war is getting, it's getting. I'm out there, I might have to be making a final stand soon. You know what I mean? You might be at the final big battle. I'm losing the skirmishes right now. You know what I mean? He's beating me in the skirmishes right now. And that is, of course, Raheem, the Dream Sterling. And this is what he said. Raheem Sterling's camp says there's been no approach from Fenerbahce or any conversation about a move to Turkey. Furthermore, there's no interest from Sterling either. So clearly he doesn't want to go there. Fenerbahce have not spoken to him either about a possible move. And as such, that's what this case is. So listen, I need the stuff about him going to Fenerbahce was kind of false because, again, if he was going to Fenerbahce, bro, that would have been major, major breaking news. That would have been major breaking news. I'm pretty sure many of you guys here would agree. Even Oliver would agree. Like, we would know if this guy was going to Fenerbahce literally right now. So, listen, Sterling definitely staying. And obviously, this is confirmed by Fabrizio as well. Raheem Sterling's camp denied any contact with Fenerbahce, no talks taking place, and no interest from Sterling. He's not planning to move to Turkey now. So, yeah, bro, listen, it's terrible, man. It's terrible right now. We're gonna get to that one right after Sterling, bro, literally. So, as I was saying, I'm just continuing onwards with this, yeah. I think for me, man, Sterling clearly there's interest somewhere. Fenerbahce maybe it was probably through intermediaries that they probably were interested in Sterling. I probably could see a reality of him leaving, maybe somewhere in London. But at this moment in time, bro, he's more than likely staying at the club. What are your thoughts, Oliver?
I agree. I mean, I think I read somewhere or I heard somewhere that like Fenerbahce's highest paid player is like 135k a week. So even if he was to go there, it would probably be a loan with us covering a large percentage of the wages. So it's just not in the benefit of the club at that point. So and yeah, any permanent transfer is unrealistic too. So not surprised.
This is why, by the way, yeah, it's very, 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 very difficult, bro. You know what I mean? This is one of the reasons why I always maintain, why I always, what's it called? Yeah, I'm really annoyed by this, yeah, where, you're putting in, especially with players when they flop and they're on high wages and then they're also comfortable, it's so hard to move them on. And particularly with a guy like Sterling who's not been able to, really show out, pop out, show out, as they say. He's not been able to handle the heat at Chelsea, being the leading man. I get obviously Tuchel was his guy and everything like that, but I just feel like he's not been able to handle his business here. Through this torrid times, or help Chelsea through this torrid times. Much like how Hazard was able to. So it's not easy at the end of the day. We move with that one still, but listen, I'm not really happy about this. I was hoping maybe this year would be the year we would be able to get Sterling off the books. I don't know about you, bro. I was hoping this year would be the year we get Sterling off the books, man, because you look at it. And the guys you're possibly trying to bring in. I understand maybe people were to make the argument that, listen, I understand you want to move on Sterling, but the problem is with Sterling, there's no replacement left winger right now in the market, really, unless you're willing to pay the Nico Williams wages, or maybe even if you're feeling like who else? Maybe a Rashid, aka Rashford, or maybe who else would you say, Oliver, on the left wing? Like Jeremy Pino had an ACL injury. Doku could have played there, but obviously he's at Man City. So listen, right now. Yeah, so it's not looking good right now in that left wing market. Like, all you can really hope right now is that Mudryk Banks. The other two good guys there. Kvaratskhelia is about to go to PSG for 120 million, and then that means Leao is going to be too much money for you. It's going to be too much money for you. So
I don't know, man. Maybe wait 6 years for this Rio kid that everyone's like crying about right now.
Yeah, we're definitely going to get to we're definitely going to get to him. Don't you worry about that. We're definitely going to discuss that one too.
Oh boy, I can't wait to talk about that.
Yep. So again, maybe Eze, if you say like you play him as a LAM, like maybe play him as a LAM or something like that. But again, I doubt that would work at the end of the day. So again, you're just running. What's it called? The left wing market right now, yeah, is really for Chelsea, Mudryk and Hope. If Mudryk banks, then we bank. But if Mudryk doesn't bank, then no. Listen, this is I want to discuss. Let me go. Big up to my guy Clinton Abdullah. He says Sterling tends to have some purple patch at least, better than nothing. I hear you, bro. I hear you. Not yet, bro. No, yet, bro. No Olise news, I'm afraid, bro. I know people might be hungering, fiending for some news from him, but not yet, my friend, not yet. But listen, guys, let's move on to the next topic, and that is on Jose Mourinho. And this is something that he's obviously spoken about in an interview with ESPN FC, right? Which is the football inside of ESPN, of course. And he says, my house is in London. To have a London club to fight to be 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, and try to make a miracle by qualifying for Europa League is that ambition. Now, clearly, I think he's just trying to say that, Chelsea obviously win on all of these positions, and they did technically get Europa League. Obviously get into Europa League. Of course.
No, he's talking about Tottenham.
Is he talking about Tottenham? I thought he was talking about us.
Tottenham are in Europa League.
Oh yeah, that's fair enough. But they come 5th though.
Yeah.
So what? Yeah. I just think I get that at the end of the day. But again, it's clear. It's clear that he's it's clear that he's just making a dig at the London clubs, not getting into UCL football under him. So clearly that's the case.
I mean, he had the quote, didn't he? Like, Man City are laughing at the mess of the other clubs.
Yeah, they are. And they are, bro, because, they're running all the way to the bank, honestly. Man City are running all the way to the bank right now, by the way. So, So, listen, all I'm going to say when it comes down to it is this. It's not easy at the end of the day. We've kind of been a bit foolish in the way that we've been trying to do our stuff, in the way that we've been trying to attempt to do stuff as well. We've been too fast, being in gear 5 when it should be really in gear 1, and trying to sort out the first team before we try to do all of the other amazing stuff we're trying to do, in my personal opinion. But listen, all it takes, by the way, is just one good season where we're able to cook, and we'll see what happens. what's it called? Jose on his Mikel arc. Maybe he is, man. Maybe, but to be honest to Jose, bro, that he's been always like that though. Jose's always been like that. He's always been one of those ones that's always he's one of those ones that's always been about that life in it. So that's why for me when Jose says this sort of thing, I'm not too surprised by it because we know what he's like, we know what he's about in it. So that's his sort of thing. Otherwise, you'd be seeing me talking heavy. You know what I mean? You know me, I'm Ahmed Abdi. I'm a heavy talker at the end of the day. So you would be seeing me talk heavy when it comes down to it. So let's continue onwards because there's been a lot of news. There's been a lot of like minor news that's been coming out. It wouldn't surprise me if not at 9 p.m. we got some even bigger bombs coming out from Chelsea, knowing us and the way we play. And I'm going to talk about the goalkeeping situation. And listen, this guy, a lot of people like him. A lot of people don't like him. I know that this is Oliver's number one goalkeeper, and he wants about the Chelsea. And that is Kepa Arrizabalaga. Kepa Arrizabalaga is desperate to leave Chelsea this summer and will hold talks with newly appointed manager Enzo Maresca in the coming days as they seek the best solution going forward. Now, listen, the fact that he's desperate to leave is music to my ears. That means, man, hopefully we can make a deal to be able to get him off and move him on, to be honest, at the end of the day. Hopefully we don't keep him either. That's because I know Kepa can play with the ball to feet. Hopefully we don't do that nonsense like, listen, we can keep Kepa for another season. Yeah, and let's hope that doesn't happen at all as well, in my personal opinion. So listen, at the end of the day, let's make sure, we can get this guy sold. Honestly, I think holding the UCL title should put 5 bands more on him. Another extra 5 million onto his price tag. How much do you think you can sell Kepa for, by the way, Oliver?
I don't care.
But like honestly speaking, though, if you are going to sell him, we need to at least
10 million.
Price.
I promise you, bro. I don't. In the UCL, he got benched by Lunin, and then both of them got benched by Courtois in the final. This guy has not attained any more value by being in that squad for the final.
Maybe you never know, man. Maybe the Real Madrid effect. The Real Madrid effect.
I mean, could you give an example of the Real Madrid effect?
Yeah, Nacho. I actually can't think of it. No. It's not. Andrews. How much for Kepa, considering he will likely go to Europe? 15 to 20 million euros. Also, not long left on his contract. Yeah, that is true, to be honest. His stock has.
Guys, I need you to understand this, man. He got benched by Ukraine's third choice goalkeeper. This guy has no value.
Yup.
I'm being deadly serious. It's not just because I don't rate it.
I know. This I know of Oliver. Oliver trying to be as honest as possible when it comes to this. So I trust that you're stating facts. I know you're stating facts on this one. So sell him to Ipswich. But the thing is Ipswich dumb enough to go in for the price that maybe we're asking for as of currently? I don't believe so. So, bro, it's tough out here. You know what, man? It's tough out here, bro. It's tough because the thing is, for me, when it comes to Kepa, I was hoping, we can get a good deal for him. I think 15, 20 million can probably get that for him. You know what you need to do? You need to get him to a Italian club or Spanish club that is desperate for a keeper. You know what, man? Why do you just get Athletic Club to bid for him? Athletic Club, he's a Basque guy, from the Basque region.
Unai Simon, who's better.
Yeah, but Unai Simon, listen, Derry, man, they need a second goalkeeper, you know what I mean? They don't have that many young guys that are in DK region that they can use. So listen. Let's get the Athletic Club deal. Let's at least get some money back for the way they scammed us. You know what I mean?
He'd surely leave for a start. So I don't see it.
Do you know how old is Kepa right now? Actually, I know he's 28, no, or 29.
29.
Yeah, like listen, at some point as a football player, you got to realize, bro, you're not it, man. You ain't got it. You ain't got it. He's 29 years old actually. So at some point, man, as a football player, you got to realize. It's not happening. And in this case, it seems that, bro, it's not going to happen. So, listen.
I wish he realised that years ago, but he was fine to sit on the bench and collect his 175 per week, so it's all good.
That is true. But, listen,
he had loads of proposals from other teams. But
I know, bro. I know. This is the thing that annoys me, bro, because the issue for me with Kepa has always been, obviously, his shot stopping from long distance has been arse. He is prone to making mistakes. He's not even good with his feet anymore. So he's literally useless. Absolutely useless. Gabriel says even for a low fee, we'll save 8 million or so on the wages, so you won't be paying him. Oh yeah, he's on big wages too, isn't he? How much is he on, by the way? Do you remember?
175.
Yeah, man, he's on too much wages, man. That's too much, man.
Yeah, man.
Too much.
He was the original 7-year contract.
My God. Oh my God, the guy that kicked it off, man. Let's hope no one else follows in his footsteps, man. I swear to God.
By the way, can we stop giving Spaniard goalkeepers 7-year contracts?
Oh look, I think EA agrees with you, man. He said he'll be lucky to get 5 million for Kepa. So, oh my God, yo, it can't be as bad as Ziyech, because you know we're getting something like only 5 million for Ziyech. By the way, we're not even getting that much money for Ziyech. So listen, hopefully that isn't the case, because at the end of the day, bro, I want to be able to at least make some form of cash. You know what I mean? So
the difference with Ziyech though is that Ziyech has shown to be, not for us, but in another team, he's shown to be elite. Kepa's never been.
Fair enough. We'll be lucky to get him for 5 mil. We're lucky to get 5 million for Kepa. Fair enough. But listen, guys, it seems that we went from a player project, you know what I mean? Bringing these young G's from the bottom all the way to the top. It seems we're now doing that with the managers. And that is starting with Thiago Silva. Chelsea emailed Thiago Silva as potential future manager in long-term coaching vision. That's from Nick Powell of The Standard again. And he goes on to say, of course, that Thiago Silva is already earmarked for a future backroom role at Stamford Bridge, but Chelsea see no reason why Thiago Silva cannot be long-term head coach candidate. Silva has shown natural aptitude for coaching in his analytical approach and tactical acumen. While wanting to be a conveyor belt for young playing talent, Chelsea also want that multi-club setup to allow them to nurture and develop potential blue head coaches in the long run. Now, again, right, this is good. This is interesting because obviously we've had Cesc that's obviously about to become head coach at Como, who they've clearly been looking at, keeping tabs on and making sure that he's connected to the club. You now have got guys like Thiago Silva, who they're hoping to, train up and then maybe send it to Strasbourg, man. He's going to be training at, maybe he's going to be the manager of Strasbourg, maybe a Sport in Lisbon, maybe another club they have in and around the world. So clearly, they're prepping and preparing him for that future at the end of the day. So what are your thoughts on that, Oliver?
In the short term, I don't care because our manager is Enzo Maresca, and that's what we need to be focused on right now. So
of course,
overall, I don't really care. But like in terms of like, I don't like you can't build a manager. Like this isn't. I don't know how to explain this, but yeah, you can't build a manager. Like managers have got to go and do their experience as like assistants, as like technical coaches and stuff. You can't build a conveyor belt for managers. That's ridiculous. It's never been done. It probably never will be.
It's interesting, but listen, man. In this universe, bro, you can create anything, bro. If you're good, listen. If you're smart enough, you're good enough. I think you can always find a way of doing that, bro. You can always find a way of doing stuff. By the way, so we'll see. But we move. But again, guys, big up to everyone that's here. Please continue to like, share, subscribe. You're helping your boy out here at the end of the day. Only 2 away, by the way, from 1,240. So help a brother out here. The summer surface is Project Lampard. You know what it is? The Project Lampard, man. It wasn't really a project because he decided to go to Derby first, and then they were like, you know what, man, let's give you a crack. He went somewhere, and then they literally brought in Lampard because they couldn't give whoever they were going to bring in, a good enough squad. So that's literally why Lampard came in. He was literally meant to be an interim, unironically. Lampard really was just meant to be an interim manager. That's what he was. And Ancelotti's probably the only great player who became a great manager him, Cruyff, and I would even argue Rijkaard, even though I know Rijkaard left after he created a Barcelona team for him, right? Because he wanted to literally leave private life completely. So he's another one that's done it. So again, Guardiola, of course, that's himself. Mourinho, obviously, he was a former player, but he wasn't a great player. He wasn't a great player, of course, but yeah, man. Zidane, maybe you could argue Zidane, right? Obviously, the UCL titles that he's won. So he's another one that maybe you could obviously say that's the case. And this is listen, again, Fraser Fletcher, of course. pinch of salt, as I always say, but this is that saucy state. Tammy Abraham could see a return to the Premier League with a number of sides monitoring his situation.
West Ham Spurs. Oh god.
Oh my god, guys! There's a funny one I've got about Poch, by the way, guys. The Poch one is loading, by the way. The Poch news is loading, by because the biggest number one ITK source for Manchester United has said that it's Poch, by the way. So listen, we're gonna talk about that one for sure. We're gonna crash it on them. We're gonna crash it on those United bastards, for sure. Excuse my language. Excuse my language. That's me, Tammy Abraham. I used to call Tammy the Money Abraham for some reason. I don't know why, bro. He used to just fit. Nah, he probably will go to like a upper mid-table club. Listen, listen. I know a lot of people don't rate Abraham, but Abraham, he's probably a West Ham type of guy. A Tottenham could probably suit him too. Even a Villa, if he wanted to return to Aston Villa, he would suit there too. If I'm being honest, at the end of the day, particularly what he's done at Roma, I think that's only fair. You know what I mean? Otherwise, you're just being a dickhead if you do that sort of thing to him at the end of the day. So listen, let's move. I'm going to continue on. So there was some news, guys, about Chalobah also might be going to Tottenham. So, which I'm trying to look up for the time being. But what's the take on that, Oliver? Because I've seen a lot of Chelsea players being linked to Tottenham. Would it be a Gallagher, a Chalobah? What are your thoughts on that, bro?
I don't know. I mean, usually when English players get linked to clubs like that, especially like English players that aren't it's top level, it's usually like a quota. I'm just trying to think though. Have Spurs? I mean, technically, Spurs lost Dyer.
The problem, Spurs have lost Dyer. Yeah, I know that Ben Davies is also, I think, going to be leaving this season. I know the guy that he got from Genoa isn't obviously that great and everything like that. As a brand, he's more so a bench player.
Ryan Sessegnon's left as well.
Yeah, Sessignon, but he's a fullback, so not even a centre back.
No, I'm talking about quota.
Yeah, quota wise, yeah. So they're losing quite a lot of the English guys in it as well. So that might be it in it. They might need to fill the English quota. So was it 6 minimum played or 7? I think it's 6, if I'm not mistaken.
I can't remember, but like I said, Dyer's left, Sessegnon's left. I don't know about anyone else.
Nothing right now in my head that's giving me that sort of signal or that reminder of some of the stuff that we've seen so far in regards to that. No, not really. Didn't even mean it in a bad way. You just see his Forest type of transfer. The problem is, if Tammy Abraham was smart and not dumb, he won't go to Forest because they just have too many players, bro. And there's too much going at that club, but there's just too many players, too many cooks. There's just too much happening right there. Summer Surfer says Sargrim City TV going from 10 eggs to Portugal. Hey, listen, we gotta be cooking them for sure. We will be there no matter what, bro. We will be there no matter what, bro. I'm gonna crash it so bad, they're gonna love it. But listen, I just want to say this quickly. I want to put this out there. As you guys know, Marshall, and me, we've had this ongoing thing about, he's put the boots on and everything like that, as you guys know. And listen, at the end of the day, I've always made it clear to him that, listen, this is not going to happen. We all know that it's never going to happen. And, me and him, we've been battling over this for, I think, almost a long while at the end of the day. And, I don't know why he keep, at the end of the day, oh my God, breaking news. Oh, man, Abdi, man. Listen, I'm a driller. I'm a striker, man. I don't know what's going on, man. But here we go. CF Bayern. Chelsea is interested in Dayot Upamecano. Oh, hell no.
Was it Build that reported this first?
Build reported it. CF Bayern is now reporting it too. Boys, we are in trouble. Trouble.
And CF Bayern's reliable.
Yeah, he is actually pretty reliable. When it comes to buying and stuff, I would say he's quite reliable. I would say at the end of the day, not because he's a buying insider realistically. So, bro, we are in big trouble, bro. Oh my God, man!
I see us sell Chalobah for this guy. Oh my God.
Yep, and listen. Oh, lordy lord. Yo, this is bad news, by the way. This is very big bad news. Like the fact that we possibly, what's it called? Yeah, could be in for this fraud. Why are we doing this, by the way? Come on, man. We can't keep on doing this, man. You know where it is, yeah? We're literally moving like twats right now, bro. Marshall's going to say he's got the arms in the air in June. Of course. Oliver, do you have the video, by the way? Because I think you sent it to me before of me saying, oh, you put the boots on.
I can have a look.
Yeah, if you can have a look in the meantime while I speak. Yeah, man, listen. No, please. Build is credible. Hopefully this is done. Well, listen, man. If Taylor believes, man, he's coming, man. It's looking like. If Taylor believes, he's coming, man. Come on, man. Why are you doing this to me, Chelsea? Not this guy, bro. Like, your scout has been on point up until recently as well, bro. Big up my guy. Oh, Jez, look at this, man. Jez is just crashing it, man. Open Maguire, you know. Nasty. It's not fake, Abraham, man. This is legit, bro. Big up to my guy, Jez. He says, to be fair, he fits better to Manchester system than the Sarti. He does for sure, but, you know, just Open Meccano, bro.
What,
you know
does he, though?
He does, yeah, because remember, he played for Leipzig. And they played that position style of playing it.
No, if he fits, that's like a negligible difference. Like, I can't even.
I don't think it's because that he fits into that type of system. In my personal opinion, that's the main reason why. Literally, it. That is literally it, bro. Otherwise, bro, otherwise it wouldn't happen at all. But listen, man, this is terrible news. By the way, this is actually terrible news because for me, you know what this means. Do you know what this means to me? This means to me personally, yeah, that that they've clearly been looking for him, clearly been targeting for him like for a while now, and the fact that they're after him, it's mad, man. It's mad. He fits. He has traits. He's just a bozo in big games. That's it, bro. Like, listen, maybe if we, you know what it is, yeah. If we just get him to not play in big games, yeah. And we just tell him to hold bench, and then we bring in Disasi because he's a big game player. You know what, man? We might be in safe hands. We might be in safe hands, bro. But yeah, man, that's all, bro. You know, otherwise, man, we're cooked. I don't know about you, Oliver, man. This is of all the right back centre backs, bro. Look, there's Diomande, there's Caliafori, there's a bunch of other guys, bro. Yeah, why are we doing this, bro? Why are we doing this, bro? Like, honestly,
I'd rather keep Wesley Fofana, bro.
Oh my god, jeez, Louise, mate. You know, listen, guys, listen, yeah. Listen, guys. 1 second. I'm just gonna load this. I'm gonna get it ready. 5, 6. Listen, what? Isn't even pause? Come on, man, pause. All right, guys. This is listen. This is what people were telling me about my guy. Let me know, yeah, if you guys can hear this, yeah.
Baffling to me, like if you're recovering.
You know what I mean? That's what they do. This is what we do, man. Every time we see Fofana, yeah, this is what everyone's reaction is here when they see him. You know what I mean? They're all hyping up, putting on boots. They just hype up, putting on boots, you know. Honestly, like, you know what I mean? This was in December. People were telling me back in December. You know what I mean? And I was telling them, this guy's ruptured an ACL. He's ruptured an flipping.
Marshall said by January.
He was telling me it's gonna be here by January. He was making like sports science here. Had found a way to, you know, recreate synthetic like ACLs and like make guys like play back in like 3 months. Honestly, it was like crazy stuff, bro. This guy, he ruptured his ACL, by the way. It's not even like torn ACL. His ACL went kaput. You want this? It literally went bang. Imagine, yeah, it was literally 1 second, yeah. Let me bring this. I need to bring this up, yeah. This right here, yeah. This right here is what your ACL is, for example, right? Red, I'm using red, for example, right? And then his ACL went bang, yeah, and turned into this, a cricket ball. That's what it would turn into, bro. It literally completely just ruptured from either side. So, listen, man, you know, I can't believe we're still doing this stuff, bro. I can't believe, yeah, we are still doing this stuff at the end of the day. Now, it's kind of obviously a bit crazy at the end of the day, isn't it? So, I can't believe we're still doing this sort of stuff. Like when it comes to my guy, what was it called? Yeah, or when it comes to my man. Like at the end of the day, listen, yeah, it's all well and good that he's.
If you're recovering,
you know what I mean? It's all well and good doing that, yeah. But if you can't, what's it called? Yeah, handle it. Then listen, get out of the kitchen. If you can't handle the heat, get out the kitchen. That's all it is, bro. At the end of the day, and listen. Big up to my guy Summer Surfer. He says, laughing, thank you very much. We need to get the boots on if Pemaboja comes. But the reality is, I just think, yeah, and I've said this before, I personally am of the belief that the club does not trust him enough to be able to, what's it called here, play him regularly. That's the issue that we have right now. And I've said that many a time before when it comes down to it, by the way. So again, something to consider, something to think about. But that is what it is, bro. At the end of the day, like, can you trust Fofana to play 90 minutes of football? I'm genuinely asking this to everyone that's watching me right now. Can you trust Wesley Fofana to play that amount of minutes for you at Chelsea Football Club? So let's say what's that? 90 times by 5 is 450, right? Can you trust Upamecano to play a consistent 450-minute game? He may or may not. This is the question to the class. I'm asking the question to the class right now. Guys, do you believe that he can stay for a thingy or not? Let me know in the comments. All right? So that's the answer for me. If you can answer that question truthfully and honestly, then thank you very much. But listen, guys, I want to talk about this, yeah? This is about my guy, Ian Maatsen. Hopefully I've said that right to my fellow Dutch mandem. You know what I mean? Hopefully I haven't cooked his name completely. I know I like to cook and everything like that, but listen, let's move on. Here he goes. Borussia Dortmund initial proposal for Ian Maatsen will be around 25 million euros in order to start talks with Chelsea. Release clause is 35 million. Club expected to discuss the next stage. Maatsen and BVB priority, but they need different price or will consider alternatives. How is Borussia Dortmund trying to dictate prices for Ian Maatsen first and foremost? Do you know how crazy that is? Do you know how much they're even asking for? 25 million euros, by the way, is roughly, I think, 21.5 million pounds. So they're saying we're only willing to pay this guy 21 M's. 21 bloody M's, yeah, for Ian Maatsen. But the release cost 35 million. A 14 million pound gap. So that means, yeah, at maximum, they're probably willing to pay 30 million euros, by the way, which would probably be 35 million pounds, 25 million pounds. Like, what are your thoughts on that, bro? What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, why is anyone surprised? I really need to ask that. Do we not recognise what club it is?
I don't understand. How can you? I just don't understand how you can dictate the fee for a guy that's got a flipping release clause. I've never had that before, bro. Honestly, I've never had it before.
It's Borussia Dortmund. This is a club that has no interest in winning. Their highest transfer in their history was Ousmane Dembele from Rennes for 35 million euros. So them paying the release clause would actually break their own transfer record. And if you look at some of the players they've had over history, it just clearly shows. And also their selling model. They're not in this to win anything. They want to pick players up on the cheap. They want to sell them for profit, and that's the way they move.
That is true. That is true.
So if they had any ambition, they would buy Ian Maatsen, but they're not going to do that because, again, this is the club that we're dealing with, and I don't know why people are surprised.
Can I just say quickly, in terms of another funny surprise, unrelated to football, but the United States have beaten Pakistan at cricket. T20 cricket.
Oh, damn.
That's crazy, man. That's just crazy. I can't believe that's actually taking place, but listen, let's move on. But listen, yeah, going back to the Ian Maatsen situation, yeah, the thing for me, yeah, the thing for me about this, yeah, is that they shouldn't be trying to dictate the terms for, you know, how much they're gonna be buying players for. Secondly, Chelsea need to be Chelsea don't even need to like remove themselves from any negotiations. They're gonna be like 35 million release clause or nothing. That's all you have to say to them, bro. Simple as that. Literally, if you're a Chelsea Football Club and you're being honest about your situation, all you say is, this is Chelsea Football Club. How much? 21 million. We want 35 million release clause. Bang. The next time they call you, listen, they can keep giving you offers. All you need to tell them 35 million release clause or nothing. That's it. There should be no negotiation. You should be telling them straight to their face, 35 million release clause or nothing.
Can we remind ourselves, by the way, Burnley offered more than what Borussia
Burnley
Dortmund
offered 10 million more. Burnley offered 10 million more, by the way, Oliver, if you're not mistaken, right? They offered 31.5 million.
It's about the same as his release clause right now.
Exactly. They're literally only 4 million off, 3.5 million.
And by the way, it's not because Dortmund can't afford it before anyone says that, because they literally have the 100 mil from Bellingham still. And
exactly.
Sure, they'll sell more players. They got revenue for getting to the Champions League final, making it all the way that far. So, yeah, I'm not hearing this like stingy, we're poor kind of thing. No, they've got money. They've always had money.
They've always had money, bro. This is what. By the way, yeah. But the money in pounds is 21.5 million pounds, right? So that's how much it is in pounds. Burnley were willing to pay an extra 10 million British pounds more, which was 31.5 million pounds. That's why we're just saying it in pounds, obviously, not necessarily in euros. I think Dortmund are trying to use the player's desire to join them as leverage. But the thing is, bro, they can use that leverage, but at the end of the day, bro, there's a release clause there. You know what I mean? Chelsea will just be adamant we want the release clause. Otherwise, he can stay with us and he can actually play for us, by the way. We need a guy like him in the team anyway.
If we're serious, we'll stick to our guns if we're serious. And
exactly.
I hate to use this comparison because this club I'm about to talk about is not a serious club. But yes. Harry Kane wanted to go to Manchester City and Spurs held firm.
Mm.
So leverage of wanting to go somewhere, that only takes you so far.
Yep. This is what I'm saying, bro. This is what I'm saying, by the way. Like, I just feel like, it's very disingenuous, like, for them to be moving like that. I get that, listen, you're a selling club. I get that, you've got all of this stuff and everything like that. But at the end of the day, bro, if you're Chelsea, you gotta move smart. You gotta be smart. And the thing is, I trust the club. I know that, listen, we're good at selling it. So at the end of the day, I have no worries, yeah. You know what I mean? No worries that that's what happened. As someone follows Dortmund, they don't want to pay all that money. I think he will not come back and go somewhere else. Simple. I agree, Jazz. I think either Bayern or he stays at the football club. That's my personal opinion. Either Bayern or he stays at Chelsea, by the way, because I know we're looking for a left back, and I'm pretty sure that Chelsea would be probably one of those clubs that, by the way, yeah, it was a mistake, but that's how bad the Dortmund board is. Fair enough. Damn. But guys, let's move on. I know everyone's feeling, you know what I mean? Everyone's on that crack, you know what I mean? On that news for my guy, Michael Olise. And it's even here. And here it is. In Chelsea's pursuit of Michael Olise, the Blues want to balance the pursuit of the world's best emerging talents with players already versed in the rigors and challenges of the Premier League. So clearly, we must realize most clubs in Europe don't pay as much as they have less money. Dortmund could afford it though, but it's a huge amount for a defender for Bundesliga. I get what you're saying, bro, but at the end of the day, this is where I always come back to this great boy, yeah, and I say this every stream, yeah, whenever we talk about Ottoman. It is down to these players to be able to find, release clauses that are adequate enough for them to get other top clubs to come and get them straight away. The price that Ian Maatsen's at, bro, if Bayern is serious about him, they're gonna snatch that chain and bring him in. If another club is serious about him, by the way, yeah, they'll come and snatch that chain. 35 million in real terms, by the way, for a lot of these guys is not that much money, And I think for me, even for Dortmund, it's not that much money. It's just that they just don't want to break the bank for their release clause, bro. That's all it is, bro. Honestly. What do you think, Oliver?
No, it is actually a lot of money for Dortmund. This is my point, though. Like, this is my point about Dortmund as a club and their ethos and their tradition. This would be their record transfer if they triggered the clause. And it just goes to show through their history, they pick players up on the cheap, they sell them. They've never cared about the Bundesliga winning it unless Jurgen Klopp's there, and that was mostly him. This is Dortmund. This is just Dortmund.
You know what it is, though? Big up to my guy Gabriel. You're my guy Gabriel. But the issue that I have is then, why didn't? Yeah, this is the issue I have here. When Ian Maatsen was making this deal for the release clause, yeah, or his agent was here, why didn't they speak to Dortmund if they believed Dortmund was going to be the guy that's gonna help them to lead them into the future? Why didn't they then go to Dortmund and were like, Hello, mate. Listen, we're gonna do 35 million in the release clause. Do you think you could get that? And if Dortmund say no, we can't do that, then what price should we be making the release clause then for you? You know what I mean?
But by the way, Ahmed, this is why it's a release clause and not a buy option. Because
exactly,
I don't think Ian Maatsen was looking to use this loan as just a gateway to Dortmund. He was looking to, as a platform, to put himself on the world stage, on the European stage.
Jackson assists, by the way,
guys.
Jackson assists right now, by the way, boys. You know what I mean? That's my guy, Nico Jackson.
Where's Senegal playing?
Yeah, Senegal's playing against DR Congo right now.
Oh, nice.
Guess where he's playing on? Left wing. Oi, Jackson getting left wing shifts. Is that Marcus Katana playing left wing? Bayern have all the highest transfers. That's true. I agree with you. Not supporting Dortmund stars, just trying to. Yeah, of course. Sorry, sorry if I came across as a bit aggressive. Then my apologies, bro. You know what, it is the grade, but this is why I find I don't know what's going on with football agents though. Like if football agents are smart, they should be able to find a balance here and be able to agree with teams release clause prices that are going to be adequate enough for players to release. Because you look at it right now, I don't know if you guys know this, 18 million are about to buy Xerxes for 35 million pounds, right? They're literally about to activate his release clause, right? And if you look, if whoever was Xerxes' agent at the time who put that in, think about this, they were smart enough to realize that, right? So if the thing that confuses me is that if I'm Ian Maatsen's agent, he's gonna go to Dortmund, right? Yeah, Dortmund don't usually get high release clauses. Why did you not speak to Dortmund about trying to agree a free beforehand? If for me personally, if the fee was 25 million and they're right now the fee they're going for is 21.5 million, I think they would have gone. Ian Maatsen would have already been at Dortmund. By the way, that's just my take. I don't know about you, Oliver.
Sorry, can you repeat your statement?
I honestly believe if you made it, if his agent had agreed with Chelsea a fee of 25 million for the release clause, he would be at BVB.
No, he probably would be because that's closer to what they want to pay.
But this is why but that's the point I'm trying to make, Oliver. Where the agent should have been smarter. He should have realized that.
No, but 31 million. I think it's 31 million pounds. That's not ridiculous. That's not ridiculous for a championship team of the year left back that's just played in the UCL final as well and played really well.
I'm really surprised that no one else has gone in for him straight away. Because you would think by now, because it's a release clause, it would have been. I would have thought Maatsen would have had a lot of guys going in for him straight away.
I mean, who needs a left back at the moment? Because that's where you got to start.
I know, obviously, Bayern obviously been interested. There's a lot. I don't know who else I'm thinking of right now. Give me someone else in the left back market. Man City, maybe you could say, but then again, they don't need him. Liverpool don't need a left. Do Liverpool need a left back? Do you think? I reckon they need a left back, don't they?
I don't know. I mean, they've still got Robertson. I think it's a matter of would they want to replace Tsimikas as a backup?
Yeah, that is true. That is true. That is true. So, Jez says, from what I know, Maatsen wants to come back. Issue is Kel and the Khan Waltz not going to pay up. Wow. Bowser, fair enough. I think Maatsen knows he has attractions outside Dortmund, but would prefer to stay in Dortmund. There's nothing new though. Dortmund don't pay much. That is true. We shouldn't change our stance for the broke club. Just sell elsewhere and send future loans to other German clubs. Fair enough. Wow, Vic with a hot take because Maatsen is not a must for everyone. Overrated little boy. Wowza. Wow. I actually, wowza. I was not expecting that from me. One thing with our club, they have made some good sales in the last couple of seasons. So I'm sure they'll not let go Maatsen for that. I do agree with that, bro. But wow, Vic, do not elaborate on that point because, I kind of disagree with that, bro. Kind of disagree with that point personally. I don't think he's overrated that much, by the way. I feel like he's pretty much. I think he's pretty good. Again, I like him as a talent and all the stuff that he's able to do and everything like that. So listen, I would have to disagree with that, bro. Dang, but what? I was not expecting that, by the way. That is kind of an insane take. You know what, Vic? Yeah, I'm going to ask him the question. What are your thoughts on Bradley Loco? What are your thoughts on Bradley Loco? But guys, listen, while we wait for that, I'm going to go on continue to some other news. That's on obviously my guy, Michael Olise. And this is some more news. You can disagree, but ain't no one fighting over him except reality. I mean, I get that, but like, I'm asking why you don't like him. That's why, you know what I mean? That's what I'm asking, bro. It's not necessarily, you know, why no one is going for him or not, honestly. But Chelsea Dodgers says, in Chelsea's pursuit of Michael Olise, the Blues want to balance their pursuit of the world-class emerging talent with players already versed in the rigors and challenges of the Premier League. So clearly, they're trying to say we need to get, obviously, young talents and experience together. So listen, let's hope so, man. Let's hope so. But listen, obviously, again, with Olise, he's got a really score, so you're just gonna have to activate that straight away. Unless Chelsea gonna do the stupid thing where let's say we'll pay you 65 million and then we'll just do it over like what? How many years? 5 years, probably, isn't it? If you give me like a 5-year deal, that's the maximum now because they stopped doing that loophole, isn't it, Oliver? Fair enough. Thank you for the answer. In Chelsea's pursuit, what's it called? Yeah, fair enough. If the right offer doesn't come in, Maatsen has to stay. I 100% agree. But yeah, going back to again, Olise, no news yet. Probably again, 10 p.m. stream. Probably 10 p.m. I would say we might find some news in regards to it. But again, you know, we will have to, of course, you know, wait and see in regards to whether or not that will happen. But again, it's a wait and see approach. Whether or not it will happen again is another thing entirely. But listen, I'm happy. Yeah, I'm happy about getting Olise because again, you look at it. I'm hoping we get Here We Go needs before the Euros next Friday, so it should be a busy 7 days. I agree, Gabriel. Again, if they're trying to complete their deals by June 30th, a lot of these guys, because if I'm not mistaken, when does Copa America start? Copa America also starts next week. If I'm not mistaken, let me just double check while I'm here. Oliver, do you know when the Copa America starts?
I don't. No.
Copa America, I'm just typing it in right now. So the first game for Copa America starts, wow, that starts in 2 weeks, you know. That starts not even next week. That starts 40. If next week is the 14th, that's when it starts. Yeah. That one starts a week after the Euros, by the way. So that one starts a week after the Euros. So any deal you're trying to get done, even for them, you're going to have to get those ones done as soon as possible when it comes down to it. So unless they've got something there loading, then you gotta have to wait and see in regards to that one as well. But again, I would like the majority of our signings done by then, whether that be it. But I think a lot of the European signings that we're gonna try to get, we have to get them done by next week. We have to get all of those European signings done by next week, because otherwise you face a situation where it's not tenable. You're running into a scenario as well where you're trying to rush to get deals done in July and June, which is not helpful to your team as well. So there's a lot of stuff that needs to get done as soon as possible, as quickly as possible as well. And so for me, probably we might be getting a lot of big news on Friday. I wouldn't be surprised again on a Saturday or Sunday if you get some more big breaking news as well in regards to like a Here We Go or to something else as well. So again, there's a lot of stuff that might be happening sooner rather than later. So let's make that happen. What do you think, Oliver? Do you think we're going to get a lot more deals and Here We Goes and stuff happening?
I'm not too sure, right? Because the weird thing is, like, the reports have been very conflicting. There's some reports that say we need to sell by 30th of June. There's some that say we don't. So I think that's got to be, that's up in the air. So I think what you're looking at now, especially as an argument for us getting the signings done before the Euros, before June 30th, we'd really be trying to make sure that Enzo has Enzo has available to him most of our new signings by the start of the preseason, so that we're avoiding situations like last summer where Caicedo didn't even get to be in preseason and things like
that. Taking a drink break, you know what I mean? Just like the players, you know what I mean? I'm hot. But again, June 30th, yeah, I just think for me, the key thing there is that from all seen we've had, we don't need anything to do with that. From other things we're hearing, we don't need to do that as well. So that's what's confusing me. Like, some people are saying we need to sell, some people are saying we don't need to sell. And so it just comes down to who said who, you know what I mean? Who's right and who's wrong. And I know the transfer window opens next week, Friday, but a lot of these deals, again, you want to get them sorted out by that Friday. Maybe Chelsea are planning to get deal done on Friday, deal done before Friday, deal done before Friday, and then on Friday, bang, all these deals are completed. And that for me probably is a much better scenario at the end of the day when it comes down to it. So I don't know about you. I would much rather all of our deals get done next week, and we are cooking, because otherwise, we just leave ourselves in a scenario where we're kind of in the mud. If that makes sense. I don't want us doing deals in July, because I think preseason starts first week of July. Isn't it, Oliver? Because that's when it started last season as well.
First week of July.
Yeah.
I think it will, but you're going to have players that are at the European Championship come back late.
Yeah, but I feel like the majority of the deals, not necessarily done, but not okay. Maybe I said this wrong, Vic, but I feel like we should have the majority of our deals locked and loaded. If that makes sense. So I know, bro. I know some myself it's a bit stupid, but hey, man, you gotta speak to FIFA and UEFA for doing that, bro. I don't know why they keep on doing this nonsense where they keep on allowing that to happen. So hey, that's on them. That is on them. Yeah, and that's why for me, so let's go back again to Vic's point. Again, you can have pre agreements done, dear Vic. In football, you can have pre agreements done, as you know very well. You can also get deals to progress as fast as possible. I don't want to end up in a scenario where let's say Alvarez becomes the golden boy or the golden ball winner. Scoring the most amount of goals, and then instead of paying 80 million, now looking at 90 million, possibly 100 million. And I think in terms of Europe-wise, I don't think there's anyone else Europe-wise that we actually have to worry about, because Olise is not in the Euros who we're targeting. Upamecano, maybe, if he does good in the Euros, if you're actually allegedly in for him. So again, that's just something else that you need to consider there too. Why did we have? Yeah, that's what I'm saying to you again. As I said, spoke about that previously. Also, price increase. That's what I'm saying, Gabriel. So you wanna live in a scenario where that does not happen. When would we sell players? You can sell them now. You can sell them later on if you'd like to. Maybe you wait until the Euros and I think you're over for certain players to see if their value increases or not. I've been of the take that whether people want to admit it or not. I don't necessarily, by the way, I don't necessarily believe that you're going to be able to. I don't think you're going to be able to sell players right away. For sure, yeah, 100%. We need to sell Ahmed. I know people talk about fear mongering, but we sell before signing any expensive players. I don't know, but again, from what we're hearing, we only send one player, bro. That's what they're saying. From what we're hearing, and I'm pretty sure Oliver knows this a bit more than me. We only need to sell one player, no? And even then,
for PSR.
Yeah, for PSR, because I don't think we have the money to buy. By the way, Chelsea has the money to buy. There's no denying that at all, right? Because they've never, the issue at Chelsea has never been buying to sell. Like we can buy the players that we want to. We've got the money to do that. The issue is the FFP stuff, and from what we've heard from Ornstein, they're saying FFP is all right.
It's very conflicting reports though.
That's what I'm saying. Until we see something happening, obviously we've seen something happen. Obviously with Gallagher, as you guys know, you've obviously seen that with Gallagher. Obviously with Gallagher, and the stuff about Aston Villa, maybe even Atletico and others. That might be the case. That might be one of them. But again, there's a lot of things that are swirling around. Even Chalobah possibly to Fulham. Yeah, obviously maybe he might, maybe Nottingham Forest might come back in for him as well. So there's been a number of stuff that's been spoken about, really. But I just
hope everyone's factoring in the fact that the Mount money is in effect this season now.
Yeah, exactly.
Not last season.
Obviously, the deal for Lewis Hall is going to be active this season because they have to actually pay the money now for Lewis Hall as well. So listen, we're gonna have to again wait and see. It's gonna be a wait and see approach. We're gonna see what happens when it comes down to it at the end of the day. But again, I'm not too. Again, people might say I'm not too worried. People might say they are worried, but meh, you know what I mean? But I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure when it comes down to it for me personally. But I just want stuff to get done as soon as possible, and hopefully we can move on. But listen, we move on that one still. But I think there's some other news I want to bring up quickly before we continue on. What difference in PSR and FFP seems a pointless rule that just affects everyone. Profit sustainability rules and FFP rules are the same essentially. It's just that you need to be able. You can't make a loss of more than you can't make a loss of above 105 million within a 3-year period, basically. So that's what it is. So Chelsea are just trying to limit the loss, I think, to around about the 105 million mark.
PSR is the Premier League. FFP is UEFA.
Yeah, exactly. What the hell? What's wrong with this computer, man? This computer is like PC, I should say now, because it's a PC now. Oh, come on, oh, man. Wakey. Arrivederci. Come on. Sorry, guys. Literally, yes. Chelsea feel that Marco Olise would prove a good fit at Stamford Bridge, slotted in alongside Noni Madueke as a strong option on the right wing. So this is something that Secret Scout also talked about, which is the fact that they are currently looking at Marco Olise and Noni Madueke as the right wingers, and then the 10s will probably be Cole Palmer and Nkuku. So again, it's an interesting fit to see. Obviously you're gonna have two different types of wingers there, unlike I think with Palmer and Madueke, in the sense that Madueke loves going at defenders 1v1, able to use his body, everything like that. So again, I think for me personally, you look at that and I'm looking surreal. So again, he looks great, man. At the end of the day, man, bringing him in, bringing this stuff in, it's gonna be amazing, bro. I can't wait. Hopefully, when we get this deal done along on the line. Hey, thank you, bro. Hey, listen, as you can see, big up to my guy DLM Designs. He's loading. We're loading right now, man. We're loading. You know what I mean? Soon some stuff is coming up quite soon. Thank you very much. Hey, all right. Just recently, everyone sees. Yeah, you know what it is, man. These guys, man, they love twisting and turning ones. But again, as I've said to you guys before, you will see on Monday. On Monday, there'll probably be a few more things that come out in regards to that. Because as you guys know, remember, Manchester City's got a hearing on Monday in which our own club is going to be backing them. Which people need to remember. The other Premier League clubs are going to be there too, isn't it, Oliver, if I'm not mistaken, right? Because they actually have the hearing where the clubs are going to be there as well.
I haven't read that, no.
No, so essentially the clubs, so I know they have a hearing, and I think clubs are going to be there that are going to be providing evidence, essentially. So I know Chelsea's going to be there because they're providing evidence for them. I think the other two clubs, Newcastle and Aston Villa, I'm not sure if they're going to be there to be doing that or not. So again, something else to consider there too. In regards to the other teams, I'm trying to think right now, bro. Give me a hot moment. I know Arsenal and Manchester United are providing evidence against Man City, if I'm not mistaken too. So again, maybe something changes when that happens.
I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll have to wait and see, really. Monday's the...
Big up to my Vic says PSR goes away after next season, by the way. Also, Aston Villa submitted a proposal to increase the loss from 105 to 135. Yeah, I saw it. Apparently, it's been rejected, Vic, though. It's been rejected. Damn. You know what I mean? Which is not great because I was really hoping for it to not be rejected because then it would allow us to have greater losses whenever we needed it, bro. Which is kind of annoying when it comes down to it, too. So... Does this not concern you about our 2012 allegations? You see the issue with the 2012 allegations, right, is that Chelsea came forward with it. We've cooperated, we came forward with it, and when Chelsea we ourselves brought forward everything. That's the difference. They didn't find it, the EPO didn't find it, the government didn't find it, we found it and we came to them with it. That's the difference, Summer Surfer. The thing with Man City, a bunch of their charges, by the way, the 115 charges, is failure to cooperate with the Premier League. That means they may have not spoken with them, done interviews with them, might not even have given them some of the information from their own books. Essentially, they've not provided that at all. Whereas we brought the investigation on ourselves. We're like, listen, this stuff is happening. We want you guys to look at this, please. Listen, we've not done anything here. We're the new owners, essentially. So we move. the red cartel are going for us next. You know, it's going to be interesting. By the way, you know, I feel like I don't know about you, Oliver. I would love to hear your take on the case, but like this idea of like Manchester United, Liverpool, Arsenal, like which of course I think Summer Safa is saying is the red cartel, right? How I wonder what's going to happen to them if Man City beats them in this case and even the 115 case, because that for me is worrying for those clubs, because it allows teams like Newcastle now to really like flex their muscles and start spending big money, by the way. So this is why, you know, it gets interesting for me personally.
It will definitely change things. Well, if the outcome goes that way and Man City are found to be correct in what they're suing for, then it will definitely change things. You know, they'll be able to, you know, it will change things for all the clubs, because, you know, for example, we'll be able to get sponsors with a better market value, because that won't be determined in the way that we currently do it.
If you're Chelsea, bro, if you're Chelsea, maybe you can finally get a Paramount Plus deal over the line. You can get some bigger deals off the line, but you could probably also inflate a lot of the stuff that you want to inflate too. So that could be a major positive for you.
The thing with the Paramount Plus thing, and I spoke about this with you in like Twitter and all that. I was just my main point behind that was like because Man City are claiming that they've lost revenue based on the way that the Premier League do these things. So I think if Chelsea are going to support them with evidence, they're going to basically be like, "Hey guys, we've lost revenue too. Look at this sham here with Paramount Plus. We had that in the bag, and then we had to settle for Infinite Affinity."
Yeah, and the thing with Infinite Affinity, by the way, we still have them as a front of shirt sponsor, only because we can't even find a front of shirt sponsor. It seems that's going to give us the value of money we're looking for right now, or maybe the ones that you even want to. But by the way, we're in Martin's Ziegler article on City, he's always criticizing. Of course he is, bro, because like I feel like we're the Premier League OGs. We were the first ones to do it. But you know the difference between, I've always said the difference between Chelsea and Man City. We have had transfer bans on us. You know what I mean? There have been people that have been onto us. Like I think Oliver agrees. Any Chelsea fan that's watching us knows we've been hit with transfer bans, with fines. We've actually, you know, we've had to hold it a few times. The problem with Man City is they've never had to hold it. You know what I'm saying? They've never had to hold it. That's the issue. So, and the thing is, they've been winning so much. They've won 5 out of the 6 leagues. You know, you saw like Liverpool. We saw like how the media done in Liverpool, for example, who got literally, what's it called? Who were always coming second, barring the one time that they've somehow, you know, managed to do something. You look at another team. You look at now Arsenal, another media darling with so many ex-Arsenal guys in the media too. Bang, and you know what I'm saying to you. So clearly, you know, there's just like this effect of like all of these guys, they can't beat them. They're too strong. It's not even like Thanos, you know. Thanos, yeah, I get like people like call him the final, but bro, this is like Madara, bro. Man City is like Madara, bro. Like you can't beat them, bro. He's always got another technique up his sleeve. He's on a different level. You know what I mean? It's just like Madara versus the 5 cages. You know what I mean? 5 cages. Literally, he's just, you know what I mean? Sosano, Bish Bash Run, just killing them off. That's what it is, bro. And this is what I'm saying to you. This is what Vic is correct in saying this, by the way, because if Man City are able to beat them in the case they have right now, not let alone the 115 charges, that will literally allow Newcastle here to finally be able to spend that £1 billion from the £1 billion Saudi Arabian stuff. So, you know, instead of going for Isak, they're going for Mbappe. They're going for all of these top players, bro. Can you imagine that, bro? Can you imagine that taking place? I'm speaking to you, Oliver, by the way, if you get my drift.
I mean, they're not getting Mbappe. He's at Real Madrid, but I hear your point. I mean, I think one stumbling block Newcastle are going to have is that they are now out of the Champions League. They're not even in Europe, as a matter of fact. So,
but they've shown. But I feel like Newcastle have shown that. Listen, even with the limited amount of money and all the stuff that you've done, you know all the stuff you've done. I feel like, you know, if you're them, you can probably now do what we're trying to do and just get the best talents out there and at a young age and just bring them to Newcastle.
That's what they're doing anyway.
Yeah, they're doing that actually anyway. But like,
City. I'll give you an example. Like, you know, they get into the Champions League. We're thinking, okay, here comes Hollywood FC. But the only big player they signed is Tonali, and I'm not going to blame them for that because I know I understand the circumstances there, but everyone else they signed, they loaned Lewis Hall with an obligation to buy. That's not a signing that's going to keep you in the Champions League. They didn't replace many other players that maybe could have been upgraded, and just things like that, really. So that's kind of what they were doing anyway. They were buying these young players, but not really with any sort of aim for the now.
That is fair enough.
The only exception is tonight.
100%. That is fair enough. If City beat the league, how can you take the Premier League seriously after all this? They've made a mockery of them. 100%, bro. This is why, this is why I would have preferred Chelsea to stay out of this personally. But if we're being honest, by the way, if they do win, again, big if they do win, they have literally made the EPL look like look like punks. Literally, bro. They've made them look like punks, honestly. And then the thing is, for me, again, that means any of the big clubs now, if you're not Man United and them, so if you're like a Chelsea, a Newcastle, a Man City, even an Aston Villa, who've got really wealthy owners, by the way, you know what I mean? They've got a billionaire wealthy owner that actually backs them too. That allows them, by the way, look at my guy Keyshawn as well. That allows them to flex their muscles a lot more, by the way. And I'll be real, man. Listen, part of me inside is because these guys have been our ops for life. I would love, for us to be dunking it on them. I would love for us to be dunking it on them. But I don't know if you missed it, but we just literally spoke about a Paramount Plus deal too. So that might also be the thing, and I also think, this might also have to do with the selling of the hotel, by the way. You know what I mean? The selling of the hotel might also play a part in this too, where because it hasn't been gone through yet and everything like that. Maybe Chelsea's also trying to say, listen, we're trying to get that stuff done, and you're not even helping us get it through. So, and that's something that I thought initially. So, I don't know about you, Oliver. I always thought it was to do with the hotel because, if you read the article, it was about the selling of assets. That Chelsea had an issue against necessarily.
Well, I don't think you can limit it down to one issue. I think that's one of the issues we'll have. I think we'll be having many issues with the Premier League, just as all the clubs will. I mean, it will be a range of different things. I don't know if you've read, Ahmed, and everyone in the chat. I don't know if you guys have read, but Everton are supporting this as well. This isn't just like the big clubs. This is Everton, relegation battling Everton. They are supporting this because they don't like how they've been treated by the Premier League either.
Fair enough, indeed. Vic says, if City win, it's an open gate, bro. Igbali will find one of KLA companies to sponsor the team bus, the lady, and the janitor. You know what will happen, Vic, by the way? If they are able to do it, they'll be able to get the big guys, the Nikes, everything like that, the American brands, and just get them to sponsor us, by the way, for really good, cheap. They'll do a bunch of sponsorship so they can put it all over the shirt, by the way. They will be able to do that, by the way, as well. Or they will just inflate the prices of something there too. And I think the thing for me, if they do this, they break FFP, by the way. FFP can no longer exist in the league. That will mean that FFP, FFP, what? That's literally what the Man City's got to say, literally. Yeah, the red cartel about the hotel and training. Yeah, man, you know where it is, man. You know where it is, Summer Surfer. But guys, I wanna listen. I wanna talk about this. Let's talk about this, yeah. And this is obviously some other big news, which is from the Secret Scout. As you know, Secret Scout definitely watches a lot of the younger up-and-coming players, from the probably say 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 range, and, reports about them usually as starlets, the up-and-coming. Exclusive. Chelsea thinks about to keep 15-year-old Rio and Gumoha as contract stall. A number of clubs in the Premier League waiting to make approach as his contract expires this summer. European clubs have also made contact. Boom, boom, boom soon. Obviously, that's the young G. Big up to him. And I know Oliver wanted to speak.
This topic here, man. I mean, people are weirdos. I can't even lie, man. We have got grown men or in some cases young men. We're crying over a 15-year-old. I mean, first of all, that's kind of weird.
Of course.
But second of all, are you kidding? this guy has gotten so long to go before we even think about first team, because that's what these guys are projecting with this guy. It's about the first team. Let's give him a pathway to the first team. Like, well, we're nowhere near that yet. This guy hasn't even played. What has he even played like at the maximum youth level? I don't think so. Not as surely not as a 15-year-old.
Not that I know, bro. Not that I know.
So there's that. I mean, you don't even know, like, to a certain point how good he actually is. And this isn't me saying we should get rid of him, but I just think the obsessive nature of the way people are talking about this is just a bit wild. And people even making up lies that I've seen people try and make up that he plays on the right wing just to crash on. Why are we buying Esteban? Why are we buying Paez? Why are we buying Olise when we got this guy? No.
I thought you played left winger. Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying, Ahmed. People are lying about it just to create a narrative.
I think that gives him a better pathway than the right wing.
Yeah, but people don't want to talk about that. And as for people saying that there isn't a pathway, I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I think Reece James and Colwell are at this club. They've had new contracts. One of them's the club captain. So for all this chat about there being no pathway, the pathway is simple. You've got to be a technically sound football player, and you're probably going to have to go out on a few loans and show yourself. Conor Gallagher isn't a technically sound football player. Mason Mount isn't a technically sound football player. We're getting rid of them. Just as an example. There is a pathway, so follow it.
Fair enough. You know what? Yeah, I'm gonna ask you a question. Yeah, that I think is a necessary and needed question in my personal opinion. Yeah, and it's this: post 2019, yeah, transfer ban season. Where were the Cobham youths that we were using in the team, first team? Honest question.
After 2019.
Before 2019.
It was only Ruben and Callum.
Literally, Ruben, Callum Hudson-Odoi, Christiansen, and Gallagher was there for the Sarri season.
Do we really count that? I know he was there, but
because he was there in the first team, I'll essentially count that because of that. And he actually won the Europa League of us, by the way. So
I know he did, but
that's right. So the point, so you might be wondering, Ahmed, why you bring that up? Because for the majority of the time, Chelsea barely were bringing in guys to be able to do that job, right? Which is that they would bring in these young guys, these young talented gentlemen to do that stuff that we're speaking about right here, right now. But there would be very few in between. I remember back in the day when we had Ake, Nathan Chalobah, the older brother of of the Chalobah right now. Yeah, when he came through in the early teens. Obviously we've spoken about Christiansen. We've spoken about obviously Matt Miazga, we haven't spoken about, who's been here before. Pasalic Pasalic. I don't think Pasalic was academy actually.
No. Pasalic and Miazga weren't academy. They were just players.
Yeah, players. Right. So there's been there's been one or two, but we've never had a consistency where we're just bringing guys into the academy into the starting 11. The reason why that changed obviously was the transfer ban and Lampard looking at Cobham to be able to bring in these talents. Now let's not deny Cobham is I always repeat, Cobham is a great farming system in terms of bringing in the top talents in the world. But for me, I think Chelsea have realized, right, that they don't need to do. I feel like our academy is so good right now that we don't need to do that much, right? We don't actually need to do that much in order for it to work. But what they've realized is that they need to bring in more international players that are even better than our current talent that we have right now. That's the difference. That's why you look at the guys that are coming in for and all that stuff. So that's what I'm saying to you, that's what I'm saying to you. Big up to my guy. Sometimes you want to keep every player even when you don't need them or where they're from already. Yes. Summer Surfer is correct in this. Yeah. Did you notice how we didn't even know who Musiala was when he was there? When he was here, I think he's just getting some more coverage now on SM, even on SM. Even Romano is reporting 15-year-olds now. Yeah, that's kind of crazy.
Oh my God, that was wild. When you were talking about the Rangers guy.
Yeah. Oh. You know what's crazy, by the way, is because the market. You know what's happening again. I said, and you guys have heard me before. The transfer market's become so crazy in terms of the transfer value of players and how much you have to pay for them. That it's people are now trying to buy the talents before they go global. You know what I'm saying to you? And right, what I mean by that is that they are now actively searching for these guys in Europe, in South America, in North America, Southeast Asia. You know, they're scouring the whole globe, finding these amazing world-class top talents, world-class talent. When I mean world-class talent, they have the ability to become world-class, and trying to buy them now for that price, which, you know, for 2 decades ago, basically, was probably the price we're looking at. By the way, the price that we bought Estabao for example, which was 26 million stuff, right? You know how much that cost us? How much that could have got you back in 2004? A Didier Drogba. Do you see what I'm saying to you? Like, the prices have gone so crazy that now the teams, the top teams around the world, are actively trying to do the predatory stuff. Yeah, that's exactly correct, Keyshawn. Exactly correct in that. Like, they're becoming predators essentially. Well, not necessarily in that way, the way that we're talking about it, right? But in terms of, like, they have to now be active enough to get these guys before they come in. Like, Keyshawn knows about the US kid that was 14 years old. That's, like, I think got brought for, he has a $1 million contract or stuff like that. He was brought for $1 million contract from the City Academy, literally. So this is why, by the way, it's become so much of a bigger thing. You know, Real Madrid, for example, Real Madrid are doing something similar to what we're doing right now. You barely hear, by the way, about the Real Madrid stuff that happens here. Real Madrid, by the way, their academy is a farming system. They literally do that and they sell their players straight away. Like, you don't even hear about their players.
The only player they kept from their academy is Carvajal.
I think Vasquez is from their academy, if I'm not mistaken, too.
Oh, and yeah, probably, yeah.
Vasquez and Asensio were the other two. And Asensio is at PSG right now.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah. You know, our strategy is to buy more clubs and raid South America so we can cut the middleman out, like Benfica, Brighton, Leicester. Yeah, and that's the thing, though. Benfica, big up. You know, you have to give credit where credit is due. Yeah, Benfica have done an amazing. Benfica have done a great job. Yeah, of having instead of investing in transfer money, they've invested in their scouts to bring them the best talent. Yeah, so that they can come to the club from South America, and then they're able to sell them for even more money. You know what I'm saying to you? And then you literally just become a profitable club, because all you need to do, find the top talents again, bring them for your club, sell them for £100 million, bish bash bong. You know what I mean? And repeat the process. And it becomes so effective for a lot of these top clubs too, by the way. And then you look at Red Bull. Red Bull is a great example, by the way, where they're doing that, in real life. The only difference for them is just that they just can't input that money to help them to win leagues. Yeah, 15-year contract. That's what I'm saying, bro. 15-year-olds getting contracts, 14-year-olds getting contracts. You know, it's crazy, bro, man. You know what I mean? But this is where you know, football has gone because of these transfer values, bro. If the transfer values weren't that big, a lot of these young guys, man, would not be getting what they're getting right now. But hey, man, that's the game, man. The game's the game. The game is the game. But, like, listen, Real Madrid got rid of Hakimi and Theo. Exactly. That's breaking. Sesko said, here we go. No, there's not. No, he is not. Where's the source of Abraham? C51 exclusive. Bro, it made me so uncomfortable, Summer Surfer, by the way. I agree. I know it made Oliver uncomfortable. I was like, bro, when I saw the young guy from, I think it was not Celtic. What's the other club that he was at? Rangers, right? Yeah, I was like, what? That's a kid. Why are we looking at kids for contract deals? Do you know how, like, weird that is, by the way? Like,
yeah, when I saw that kid's face, I literally rubbed my eyes. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me.
Yeah, bro. It's just it just feels not right. It doesn't feel right at all, bro. Honestly, it doesn't feel right at all.
I mean, for one thing, that just shows where Fabrizio's at right now. Like, all the rumors about him, like, taking payoffs from people to, like, push players. That's true.
Mm-hmm.
There is not. Who the hell is that guy? Who knows him? Of course, he was paid to push that.
Yeah, no, it was 14 actually. Summer Surf. I was just speaking about him. A 14-year-old literally just got sold for £1 million. We're selling 14-year-olds for £1 million, bro. City Academy to the City Academy too. You know how crazy that is. That for me, just, you know, it's just an insane level of money. That, like, the game is just, like, going crazier and crazier. Honestly. Like, I never knew, you would be able to find, I never knew you would be able to get stuff like that, bro. When will they come for me? Hey, come on, chill out, Abraham, man. Listen, hopefully not. It's hopefully not, man. Hopefully not. But listen, man, we absolutely well and truly moved. But bro, it's been a great stream today. Honestly, man. Obviously, I know there's not been that much news today to go around. Of course, my apologies for that, boys. But, you know, at the end of the day, you know what Chelsea's like. They don't want me to get any news. They don't let me get any news. But listen, as usual, I'll be here probably the same time tomorrow, 18 to and what's it called? 8 p.m. If not a little later, 10:30 p.m. But all the time, always 8 p.m. Make sure to be here. Make sure to like, share, subscribe. As always, I've been your host, the most, the Bridge 258. Dedicate your hearts, and as always, make sure to stay blue.